Welcome to a parallel project training APM Project Management qualification podcast based on the APM Body of Knowledge 6th edition. You should be using this in conjunction with our e-learning, study guide and potentially a tutor-led course. For more information, please visit www.parallelprojecttraining.com.
Hello and welcome to another exciting Parallel Project Training podcast with John Bolton and Paul Neighbour. Today we have met admin. Oh no, sorry, project offices.
Project office. Oh, that's fine.
I'll just wind them all up, won't it? Right, so the learning objective, describe the functions and benefits of the different types of project office is the question that we have to answer. So the way we're going to tackle this is we're going to start thinking about one project, and if you could have a project office supporting a project manager, what would that project office do? So we need to make a list of the things that we could delegate to a project office, which would be appropriate to give to a project office. What sort of things do you think?
Well, I think in its really simple form, it's just, a project has a project office.
Yes.
And that project office might have a project office manager.
Yes.
We used to call them POMs.
POMs?
You used to have a POM, and the POM might have some people that work for them.
Yes.
So, and basically their role was to make sure the project was
run
well according to the procedures.
Yes. Okay.
So if you have a bigger project, you need someone to help the project manager make sure that's all happening. So it's not demeaning, but it's an administrative activity over the project. So it's, the criticisms of it is, well, it's just a bit more bureaucracy, but it's not really, because you write the plan, you write the project management plan, and someone's got to police it, whether you like it or not. Otherwise, there's no point in writing it because people won't follow it. So, the project office would do a number of things within that plan, like, for example,
maintaining documentation records.
That's right.
Maintaining the change log.
That's right.
Maintaining the issue register, issue log.
That's right. They might do the configuration management.
Configuration librarian might be there.
That's right. They might help you do. They might facilitate things. They might run risk workshops for you.
Yes. Okay.
They might run planning meetings.
Yes.
They might do induction. They might help people find their way around the project.
Yes. Okay.
So on a decent sized software project, collating data.
Collating, yes.
Yeah, the sort of things they used to do with us, they used to collect all the timesheets.
Okay.
So they collect all the timesheets, tabulate them all, and produce a report on a Monday morning for the project managers to see where all the time had been spent.
And who hadn't done their timesheet on time.
And who hadn't done the timesheet on time. And chase them. Mm-hmm. So it's more than just, sort of spotting the miscreants. It was more about sort of making sure it was done, And then they would also... just make sure those procedures have been followed. If someone was saying they'd done something, they kind of make sure they had. According to sort of a quality assurance over the project as well. Making sure things are being pursued in the way they should be. So you could say, well, why doesn't the project manager do that? Well, on a small project, they probably will.
Yes.
But once the project gets to 5, 6, 7, 10 people, it starts to become the project manager will spend all their time doing admin, and arguably that's not what they're there for.
Yes.
What they're there for is to maintain momentum, make sure that next month is worried about, So the project manager's there to try and make decisions, to get stakeholders buy into things, a lot of time communication, whereas the project office manager is there to make sure things are happening as they should.
Good.
In a simple environment, you have one project office for one project.
And as an organisation gets bigger, then maybe you have that project office could support a number of projects.
That's right. That's when you start to get into the sort of areas of corporate project office.
Yeah.
Project support office or something.
That's right, a project support office.
That's right. So they're doing...
So you might... I set one up at my last company, and we used to... I think we had about 20 projects and about 8 project managers we supported. And we just... all the things you've said, we just did for multiple projects. So it wasn't much... It wasn't much different, actually, from doing individual projects, really. Also, they didn't have all the skills, so they didn't know how to do configuration management or risk management or planning, for instance. So we provided that.
Arguably, you're not paying them to do that. You're paying them to run the project.
Yes. That's right. So as the organisation gets bigger, you end up with probably, especially in a program environment. So like the way you've got an office to support the project manager, you might find that the program manager certainly needs an office to support
that program office would be supporting all the projects within the program.
Yes.
They wouldn't be supporting projects outside the program.
That's right.
For example.
That's right. They just support that one.
But also,
what
you find is that you get almost specialist departments in big organisations. So you'll have a bunch of risk analysts, or you'll have a bunch of planners or estimators, and kind of they're sort of fulfilling a part of a project office role.
Yes, that's right.
But you're dipping into it and out of it when you need them.
Yes, that's right.
So you'd rather than have your own project office or even a share of one project office, you've now got
project controls,
a bit of some
function
people all the way around the business. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So and you see that a network will do that, don't they?
Yeah,
They have that sort of activity, and so do others. So yeah, so that's the kind of the main manifestations of it. You have the program management office, which is for the program.
The program management office might be a bit different from a project support office because they might do some things
have a
like
wider
benefits.
scope, yeah.
Yes, so they might do they do all the stuff that a project office do, but they might do benefits.
Well, they'll keep your
tracking,
benefit registers. You'll keep your benefit registers and your benefit profiles, that sort of thing.
Maybe more stakeholder management type.
Yes, that's right.
So the focus might change.
Yes, and also they'll be more worried about the interdependencies between the individual projects. So they'll be more focused on, kind of the relationship between one project and another in terms of risk or changes.
So
or
you
something.
can imagine that the projects might have plans, schedules, and the program office might be integrating those schedules into one master plan.
That's right.
And so that's a sort of different role from your one project office supporting one project.
Yeah, I mean a project office might be doing that if they've got lots of sub projects, lots of little work packages.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for the purposes of the exam, I would just keep it simple and just talk about project office in the simplest
so I'm just
form.
looking at these differences though, the different types of project office. So, and I think the other type you might see is a portfolio office, which I know we were talking about with portfolio management, deciding how to get best value. So supporting the portfolio manager in doing what they're doing, in deciding, how do we prioritise all these different projects and programs, and what's the sort of decision-making mechanism.
That's right.
So we could just run through those different types. So you've got your single project office supporting a single project. You've got a project office supporting multiple projects because it's convenience. You've got a program office supporting a program, and you've got a portfolio office supporting a portfolio of questions. And they're all going to do pretty much the same stuff, but with extra bits added.
There'll be lots of overlap, won't there?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You could have a little table, I suppose, with little tick boxes in it of, who does.
Well, some people get absolutely.
I wouldn't worry about it. I would just keep it simple.
Some people spend hours describing the difference between these different types.
Yeah, typical roles of a project office is a good thing to know about.
Yes.
It's interesting because
what are the benefits of a program office?
It means project manager can play golf. Get more time off, go along the beach.
I don't think that's going to pass, is it?
No. It's true.
Releases time for the project manager to focus on delivery, provides consistency of approach in reporting. It's
difficult. I mean, as a project manager, you can become very, very blindsided to some of the detail,
Yes.
Because you assume everything's happening in the way you've described it, but actually the truth might be different. And sometimes you need someone to do that for you. Yes. So that impartial view, that sort of trusted advisor.
Assurance.
In the army, you used to have the general, you used to have a staff officer, didn't you? So you had someone who sort of did the...
Yes, okay, that's right. That's what staff officer is a
adjutant or whatever you call it.
Right.
Yeah. So you have an adjutant who sort of did
That's right.
I want I want the army to go that way, and they need to make it happen.
That's right. So
I think there's a bit of that, but not totally, but there's a bit of that going on. And I think sometimes I've seen instances where the project manager's got too much to do.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got a demanding client that wants a lot of analysis and data where they want timesheets for this and
you get consistency, don't you? You get for an organisation. It's sort of a way of improving.
Well, they're not deciding the rules; they're just following them.
Yes, that's right.
So they're making sure that other people follow them, and so they're not bogged down in creativity in that sense. They're just, this is what I want to happen. So can you make sure it's happening, please?
So let's go through, but see if we check we've got 5 benefits. So it allows the project manager to focus on business as usual.
Project manager focus on the project.
Focus on the project. It
relieves some of the administrative burden.
It
provides an impartial assurance role.
Yes, provides a consistent set of processes.
A consistent set of processes. And it provides scalability. So you've got, the opportunity to share the work around different people. So you give a bit of continuity as well, because if the project manager goes off, you've got an obvious deputy.
And also it makes sure that the projects are all working the same sort of way.
Yes.
And also sometimes specialist skills that the project manager might not be able to afford.
In their own right,
who wants their own configuration librarian, but you might be able to share one with some of your mates.
And quite often you get during the setup of a project, you've got a lot more work to do. So quite often you get a sort of little hit squad comes and set up your project office, and then leave someone behind to run it for you.
Mobilisation team.
That's right.
Brilliant. Good.
Right.
Excellent.
Good.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast and found it informative. To order a study guide, e-learning, or a tutor-led course to go with this podcast, please visit www.parallelprojecttraining.com.